I think we'll see in September, but I expect that a lot of people will show up for these elections, and we'll have interesting results for united Russia. And I think this Navalny's idea of smart election really works. Like, and he's asking us to vote for anybody except the ruling party. And besides showing up at elections, I think people will show up in the streets. And I was actually really surprised by the mood of the people that I've seen on 27th of July. I did not expect it. I was thinking that it would be just a normal gathering near the government building, and I've seen so many of them in my life, and like, all of a sudden people just refused to leave. And at some point Moscow turned into a big anti-government festival, like anti-government open air, which feels really amazing. It feels to me like 1968 in Paris.
And what did you think when you heard that Navalny had fallen ill in jail? Do you think he was poisoned?
I felt like, because my ex-husband was poisoned, and like he was poisoned much more seriously, actually, but we didn't know like how serious it is with Navalny, and we still don't know for sure because the court refused to let him go to get proper medication in real life, and he's not even under criminal investigation, and he's pretty seriously ill, and they don't let him go to make like really independent medical care, and it raises lots of questions, like why. And I've seen it happening with the situation of Peter Verzilov. Doctors were trying to hide his blood, urine samples, and I was trying to track it down. It was completely impossible, though members of the family or lawyers, they can get this samples, and we were writing letters to multiple doctor offices and investigation committee and the police, and nobody reacted. So basically the Russian government, they're just trying to hide everything that is somehow connected to Peter's poisoning, and right now they're hiding Navalny.
And Maria was detained in the last demonstration.
Yeah.
Is it?
She was just sitting on the grass.
Probably they know who she is, right? The police.
Yeah, I don't think they knew. They just arrested everybody. And the craziest part about this arrests was, like, they would take you in a ring of police, and they would tell you, you should go away, but they don't let you go away because you're in a ring of police, and it feels like you're in a trap. And I heard from many people that it's really like claustrophobic and terrible feeling. And it was like a really moving moment when a church in Moscow helped to hide protesters because they were trapped in this ring, and so they escaped to the church, and the head of this church later, I think he commented even publicly about this event, and he's just a normal Orthodox priest, which is interesting. It feels like, like actually Virgin Mary, who asked to get rid of Putin, really listened to what we had to tell her, and so now even Orthodox Church, parts of it, is on our side. But yeah, Masha was arrested just being at Trubne. This was like after 7 p.m. I think, so she was just been walking at this anti-government festival all day long, and yeah, she was arrested. She ended up in police department for 3 days, which is kind of the worst because police departments are not done for spending any time like longer than 3 hours in them. So sometimes they don't feed you, they don't give you a place to sleep, and you literally have to sleep for 3 days in a cage. And after that, they brought her to court, and now she has to pay a fine for just sitting on the grass. And the fine is 150,000 rubles, which is like $2,000.
Is it scary for you to go out to demonstrations like that?
For some reason, no, because I don't know, because you're ready to be arrested, and you, at the moment when you accept that you can be arrested, it's not scary for you anymore. And plus, it's been happening with me so many times, and I know more or less what can happen. And you always hope that the worst will not happen with you, like the criminal case, which is unfortunately happening right now, not towards me, but they opened a big criminal case, which will be like really historic event in Moscow, like in Russia. I think it will be something like Bolotna case in 2012, when dozens of people have been arrested for years after that demonstration. And yeah.
Do your 2 years in that prison camp, do they still sit with you? Do you still have nightmares about it? Does it come back?
Yes. Yes. This night I saw a dream about prison, about being in prison again. And they were like, oh, we'll give you parole. And I'm like, no, I have like only 5 months left. I would not be asking for parole because they would never give me parole. Yeah, this was my conversation in my dream today. But today was not that terrible, because 5 months, it's not a terrible time. But like I know that it's a nightmare when it's about like 10 years in prison, and when I'm in the court again and for just nothing. Yeah, and I'm facing 10 years. That's pretty tough. And in prison, in your dream, you start to think like how I'm gonna spend these 10 years, because it's like a big chunk of your life.